Go. All right, so if we look, we're doing Appendix 3. So we call this A3. This is, again, algebra review. And when we're looking at algebra, specifically this section talks about polynomials and just the basic operations. So that's our goals for today. We're going to add, subtract, multiply, and divide, which is factoring polys, okay? So we talk about monomials. Monomials is a one-term polynomial. Binomials is two terms. Okay, again, terms are separated by pluses and minus signs. And then we got trinomials are three terms. And those three fall into the family of polynomials. Okay, so the first thing we got to be able to do is add and subtract just basic polys. So as we take a look, we are adding and subtracting like terms. So I'm going to zoom in just a touch. You guys see that nice and pretty? All right. So example 1, I have 3x squared plus 7x minus 5, and then plus 5x cubed minus 2x minus 8. Remember, when you are adding and subtracting like terms, you are just adding the numbers in front. The numbers in front are called coefficients, okay? So coefficients, you know, like if I have 2 apples plus 3 apples, I have 5 apples. I don't touch the exponents. I don't have 5 apples squared. That'd be silly, all right? So 2 plus 3 is just 5. And we always write these in descending order. So I take a look. I got a 5x cubed is my first term I write. So I got 5x cubed. And then I look around and I don't see the next one. I see 3x squared. So I write that one next. There's no other 3x squared, so there's nothing to combine there. And then we do the next one. So now I got 7x and negative 2x. So we can put those together. 7x minus 2x we all know is 5x. And last but not least, we combine our constant terms, the numbers without any x's. That's negative 8, negative 5. That's negative 13. So in descending order, the power of x should be getting smaller and smaller. So 3, 2, 1, none. I got 5x cubed plus 3x squared plus 5x minus 13. All right. You guys have any questions with that? That's easy, right? That's child's play. You guys have been doing that since algebra. So I look at the next one. It gets a little bit tougher. This is how my math lab makes this section tougher. We have 2x squared plus 5x plus 10, and then minus 2 times this quantity of 5x cubed minus 2x minus 8. So what we need to do here is we need to go ahead and distribute. Whee! Go ahead and multiply there. So this guy stays the same. I got 2x squared plus 5x plus 10. But now I distribute, and I got negative 10x cubed. Negative 2 times negative 2x is a positive 4x. And negative 2 times negative 8 is plus 16. Okay. So last thing we got to do is just combine our like terms. Again, we only have one x cubed term. We have a 2x squared. We have a 5x and a 4x. We know that's 9x. And last but not least, I have 10 plus 16 is 26. Boom. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay. Now, if there's just a negative there, make sure you distribute the negative to every single term. You're subtracting the whole trinomial, so we have to make sure we're subtracting every term. Okay. Adding, subtracting, super easy. Yeah, you guys could do that in your sleep. You guys are like, this is easy. Cade's like, come on, man. This is easy. All right, let's do multiplying. Multiplying. Binomial times a binomial. 2 times 2 is 4. There's a 4-letter F word you guys are allowed to say in math class. Do you guys remember what that is? Lydia knows. What's that 4-letter F word? Foil. Yeah, or fork, or there's 2 words you can't say. One, in math class, you know the bad word, right? The other one, do you know what the other one is? Fire. You can't say fire in math class because then everybody run out because they think it's a fire, right? Ah, my goodness. All right, so first, outers, inners, last, we got our FOIL. You guys remember how to do this? So I take my first term. I got x times 2x is 2x squared. Then I do my outside terms. X times negative 8 is negative 8x. And then I do my inside terms. I got negative 5 times 2x is negative 10x. And then I do my last terms. Negative 5 times negative 8, negative times the negative is a positive 40. Last but not least, always combine your terms. Usually, it's the OI terms that can be simplified. So the F was 2x squared. The OIs turn into negative 18x, and then plus 40 for your last term. So final answer, I get 2x squared minus 18x plus 40. Okay. Again, guys, this is not biology. You can't learn through osmosis. I hope you're writing some of this stuff down, whether it's on another tablet or maybe you printed out these notes or on a separate sheet. Okay. Let's see if there's got anybody in the waiting room. Well, Jackson's wanting to show up today. All right. All right, gang. So we're moving on to the next example. So I got example 4. I've got x plus 4 quantity squared. Okay. If you type this in and you say the answer is x squared, because x squared is x squared and 4 squared is 16, my math lab is going to say, that's not right, because we must FOIL this guy. Again, if I take two things and I square it, 2 squared is 4, I should get 4 terms here. Okay? So I need to write x plus 4 twice so that I can FOIL it. So I go through the process. X times x is x squared, 4x, and 4x is now 8x. Add those two together for your outers and inners, and then your last term is 16. So don't forget to FOIL those guys. Okay, or it's going to be wrong. All right, y'all. How we doing? Let's do the last hard one. Here we go. I've got x plus 2 quantity cubed. So if it's squared, we write it twice. If it's cubed, we write it thrice. So I've got x plus 2, and x plus 2. What I like to do on this one, I just cover this one up and go ahead and FOIL this one. X times x we know is x squared. X times 2 is 2x. Now I have 4x if I combine those. And 2 times 2 is 4. Okay. Bring this guy down. Bring it down. So now I have a binomial times a trinomial. Okay, go back to the idea. I have 2 things times 3 things. So 2 times 3, I should get 6 things when I'm all done. Okay, so I've got to take this x and distribute to all 3 terms. So x times x squared, we all know is x cubed. X times 4x is 4x squared. And x times 4 is 8. Then we do it again. We're halfway. I'm going to take 2 times each one of those now. Now, when I do this, I'm going to write like terms underneath of each other so it's easy to add later. So 2 times x squared is 2x squared. And I'm going to take 2 times 4x, that's 8x. Oh, I missed an x here. No, that's right. No, that's not right. X times x is x cubed. That's a 4x squared. That, you guys got to say something. That's 4x, Mr. Gotsch. X times 4 is 4x. My bad. That's 8x. That's what I'm looking for. Sorry, guys. That's a 4x in blue there. And 2 times 4 is 8. I knew there was something wrong. You see something, say something. So I've distributed the x to each term. I got x cubed plus 4x squared plus 4x. Then I took 2 times each one. I got 2x squared, 8x plus 8. Now I just add down. Combine my like terms. That's x cubed. 2x squared plus 4x squared, that's a 6x squared. 4x and 8x, that's 12x, and then plus 8. Boom. That thing is done. Bada boom. Bada bing. Easy peasy. How we doing? We doing all right? You guys been doing this since algebra. This is good review. Oh, R2 says hi. All right, you guys ready to do some factoring? Let's do our factoring here. So last goal for the day, we got a little factoring. We got GCF, greatest common factor. So we got greatest common factor and guess and check. So first rule of factoring, I always say the first rule of factoring is we don't talk about factoring. The second rule is we don't talk about factoring, and then nobody knows what I'm talking about anymore because they don't never seen the movie Fight Club. So we'll just say the first rule of factoring is looking for a GCF, looking for the greatest common factor. All right, so I take a look. I got 8x. I got the 8x minus 12. What do we got? What's the GCF? What do we think? Cynthia, Nick, Lauren, what do you think? Shout it out. What do you think? What do you got? What can we take out from 8x minus 12?
4.
Yeah, Cynthia, that a girl. Take a 4 out. Basically divide everything by 4. That's what factoring is, division. So we end up with 2x and then minus 3. Okay. So I'll write that a little nicer. 2x minus 3. All right. Perfect. All right, let's do one more of these. We got example 7 or 8. Let's do, what do you want to do? Let's do 8. I've got x squared plus x minus 12. So I'm skipping this one. So here we got to do factors of f and L. Factors of this guy and this guy that add up to this guy. So factors of x squared, we all know are x and x. We got factors of negative 12. We got factors of negative 12 that add up to negative 1. So I take a look, factors of negative 12, it could be 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4. Well, one's going to be a plus and one's going to be a minus. So what do we got here? 4 and 3. Who's the plus and who's the minus?
The 4 is the plus and the 3 is the minus.
Awesome. We got a minus there. Let me write that again. X minus 3. So if you tried the other way, it wouldn't work. We always like to check your outers and inners here. That's a negative 3x. 4 times x is a 4x. That's 1x. And that's what we wanted. We wanted 1x. You get it so you can see here. So x plus 4x minus 3. I've done what we call the OI check. My outers and inners, and it works out perfect. So double check. I always say check the nose and smile of SpongeBob. Make this guy like a box. Kind of looks like SpongeBob. All right, so I take a look. I want you guys try number 9 real quick. Let me zoom in on number 9 here. There we go. I got 3x squared minus 75. It's not your fault. All right, gang, we take a look. What do we do first? Let me pick on somebody new. Wade, Victoria, Trey, Trevor. What was the first thing you guys did? We got 3x squared minus 75.
Divided it by 3.
Yeah, you can take out a 3. Very good. Okay, and that leaves me with x squared minus 25. Okay. Now, I'm going to kind of go off to the side. Like, if I asked you to take prime factorization of 75 and you just did 3 and left me with 25, I'd say, whoa, you can break that down further. Okay, same thing with this guy. This is what we call difference of squares. We can break this x squared minus 25 into 2 binomials. So I've got x and x. So what are factors of negative 25 that add up to 0 because there's no middle term, there's no x term? What'd you guys get?
+5 and -5.
Awesome. Nice work. Okay, and then final answer. Don't forget about the 3 you took out. So final answer is 3, and then the quantity x plus 5, x minus 5, or x minus 5, x plus 5. So either one of those. All right, so this is called a difference of squares. You can factor that. X is squared, 25 is squared. We can factor plus or minus. This guy, my math lab puts this in, and they want to try to trick you. This is what we call sum of squares. You cannot come up with factors of a positive that add up to 0. Factors of 81 are 9 and 9, but those add up to 18. Or -9 and -9, those add up to -18. And then somebody might say, what about, Mr. Gotsch, what about x plus 9 and x minus 9? Yes, those add up to 0, but those are not factors of positive 81. Those are factors of negative 81. So none of those will work. And the only thing you can do is write prime. Number that's only factorable by 1 in itself is a prime number. All right, so these are kind of things that you should be aware of. And then to make it harder, they might give you something like this. So I've got x to the 4th minus 16. I've got 2 terms. So I always say, oh, that's probably a difference of squares. X to the 4th is x squared and x squared. And then factors of -16 plus 4 minus 4. Okay. Now, before you type that into my math lab tonight or later today here in a few minutes, double check to see if these can be broken down. X squared plus 4 cannot, but this guy is another difference of squares. Okay, so this guy right here, break it down, y'all. X and x, factors of -4 that add up to 0, plus 2 minus 2. Don't forget to bring this one down, though. So final answer is these 3 quantities, x squared plus 4, and then x plus 2, x minus 2, or x minus 2, x plus 2. Order doesn't matter with multiplication, guys, so you can have any quantity first and any quantity second, any quantity third, as long as you have those 3. Guys good with that? All right, let's finish up. Last thing we got to do, a little guess and check here. So last thing, factoring polynomials. I have 2x squared plus 5x plus 3. This is where we say the leading coefficient is greater than 1. So we have a 2 or a 3 or a 6. Okay, so we do it the exact same way. We find factors of f and l, and we got to check our OI term. Okay, so as we set this up, I got binomials. I got 2x squared is 2x and x. And then I got to come up with factors of 3. Now, this is where you have to do the checking. I got to check to see, where do I put the 3? Do I put the 3 first or do I put it last? Because if you're not first, you're last. Where do I put the 3? Factors of 3. If I put it here or here? Here? Factors are 3 and 1. Now, this is where I have to check it. I check my outers. That's 6x. I check my inners. That's 1x. 7x. Is that what I wanted? Oh. Wah, wah, wah. Try it again. That's why it's called guess and check. I check it. Don't work. I got to try it again. 3, put that 3 there. Put that 1 there. I check it. That's 2x. That's 3x. Yes. That's 5x. That's what I wanted. Boom. So I always say check your nose and smile of SpongeBob. You make that little box. Kind of looks like SpongeBob. You see it? His eyes, his nose, and his mouth. Kind of. Some people call it Billy Binomial. You guys know Billy? Billy.